Millions of seniors are making this mistake every single day, and it's quietly destroying their muscle strength. Imagine this. One morning you try to get out of bed, and suddenly something feels different. You grab the edge of the mattress, push up with your hands, right, but your body feels heavy, weaker. Even carrying the grocery bags feels like a full workout. And here's the worst part. This didn't happen overnight. It's been building slowly, silently, day by day, without warning. But the truth is, this one issue affects over 50 million older adults around the world. It's called sarcopenia, and it's the age-related loss of muscle mass and strength. It sneaks in without symptoms, until one fall, one injury, one moment takes away your independence. But here's what might surprise you most. Getting older doesn't have to mean getting weaker. Yes, muscle loss tends to speed up after age 50. In fact, after that age, we start losing 1 to 2% of our muscle mass every single year. But that decline isn't guaranteed, not even close. New research shows it's not just age, it's our daily habits. What we eat, what we do, or don't do. These simple decisions either slow down muscle loss or speed it up dramatically. And here's the twist most people never see coming. Some of the foods you've been told are healthy, even ones sitting in your kitchen right now, might actually be silent saboteurs, draining your strength one bite at a time. They don't just accelerate sarcopenia, they make it harder for your body to rebuild muscle, even if you exercise or eat protein. So today we're going to break it all down. You'll learn the 5 most common foods that secretly weaken muscles in older adults. Some might shock you, especially number 1, which is often considered a health food. But first, if you're serious about staying strong, steady, and independent in your 60s, 70s, and beyond, make sure to watch until the end. Because the truth is, small changes today can lead to massive improvements in strength, energy, and balance over time. Let's dive in. Enemy number 1, refined carbs. The muscle thief, hiding in plain sight. All right, let's talk about the first hidden enemy of muscle health. And fair warning, this one shows up on nearly every kitchen table in America. It's not soda, it's not candy, it's something much sneakier and much more common. Refined carbs, like white bread, pasta, pastries, cookies, and even some breakfast cereals. Now I know what you might be thinking. What's wrong with a slice of toast or a little pasta at dinner? Here's the surprising truth. These refined foods are doing almost nothing for your muscles. And in many cases, they're quietly making things worse. You see, during processing, refined flours lose nearly all their fiber, magnesium, and B vitamins. What's left? Fast-burning starches and sugars that hit your bloodstream like a sugar bomb. So what happens next? Blood sugar spikes, followed by a surge of insulin. This roller coaster ride doesn't just leave you tired or foggy, it also triggers chronic inflammation. A quiet, steady fire inside your body that damages muscle tissue over time. And that's not all. These insulin surges also block key amino acids from reaching your muscles, the very building blocks your body needs to repair and grow strong. So in simple terms, refined carbs starve your muscles of nutrients while encouraging fat gain and slowing your metabolism. And yes, that extra weight around your midsection, it puts even more pressure on your knees and joints, making it harder to move and harder to exercise, which of course speeds up muscle loss even more. But here's the good news. You don't have to give up bread or pasta forever. This isn't about restriction, it's about smarter swaps. Try 100% whole grain bread, like rye or oat, that keeps the fiber and nutrients intact. Switch to whole wheat pasta, or better yet, options made from lentils, quinoa, or chickpeas, all of which offer plant-based protein and fiber. Pair your meals with healthy fats like avocado or extra virgin olive oil and lean proteins like chicken, turkey, or salmon. This simple combination helps stabilize blood sugar, fight inflammation, and give your muscles the fuel they need to stay strong and grow. Because when it comes to aging, well, every bite matters. And the harmless foods we've trusted for decades, some of them are quietly working against us. So now you know, refined carbs may be enemy number 1 in the battle for muscle strength. But up next, we're diving into something even sneakier, a morning ritual that seems healthy, even refreshing, but could be quietly draining your energy, sabotaging your metabolism, and increasing your risk of muscle loss with every glass. Stay with me. You won't want to miss this one. Enemy number 2, fruit juice, the healthy habit that's secretly weakening your muscles. Now here's something that might catch you off guard. Picture a classic breakfast, a slice of toast, a hot cup of coffee, and a tall glass of orange juice. It sounds healthy. After all, we've been told for decades that fruit juice is full of vitamins, boosts your immune system, and helps start your day right. But here's the truth almost no one talks about. Fruit juice, even the fresh squeezed kind, could be quietly working against your muscle health. And here's why. When you squeeze a fruit, you remove its most important part, the fiber. What's left behind is a concentrated source of fructose, a type of natural sugar that, when consumed in liquid form and without fiber, hits your bloodstream fast. Within seconds, your body is flooded with sugar. And just like with refined carbs, this causes a spike in blood sugar and insulin, triggering the same inflammatory response that breaks down muscle tissue over time. But it gets worse. Unlike glucose, which can be used by your muscles for energy, fructose gets sent straight to the liver. And when there's too much of it, like in a typical glass of juice, your liver starts converting it into fat. This leads to a condition called fatty liver, which not only harms your metabolism, it also produces even more inflammation, weakening muscles, slowing recovery, and making it harder to stay active. And if that weren't enough, high levels of fructose have been shown to increase insulin resistance, making it even harder for your body to deliver protein and nutrients to your muscles where they're needed most. Now let's clear something up. Whole fruits are not the problem. In fact, eating an orange or an apple, fiber and all, slows down sugar absorption and helps regulate blood sugar naturally. But juice? That's a different story. One glass of orange juice can contain the sugar of 3 to 4 whole oranges, without the fiber, without the fullness, and without the same health benefits. So what can you do instead? If you enjoy a refreshing drink in the morning, try this. Blend half an orange with a whole apple, peel and all, and toss in a handful of blueberries. Add a little celery or fresh ginger for a light, anti-inflammatory smoothie that supports your muscles instead of harming them. Or if you're just looking to stay hydrated and energized, go for something even simpler. A glass of water with fresh lemon in the morning can cleanse your system and support your kidneys without spiking your blood sugar. And don't forget herbal infusions. Rosemary, mint, or bay leaf teas can be incredibly refreshing and gentle on your system. Bottom line, fruit juice may look and taste like a healthy choice, but for older adults trying to maintain strength and mobility, it's a silent threat. One that could be slowly draining your energy and making your muscles more vulnerable every day. Coming up next, we're tackling one of the most common protein mistakes seniors make, and why this convenient, processed option might be silently sabotaging your strength from the inside out. Stay with me. You won't want to miss what's coming. Enemy number 3, processed meats, the hidden danger in your favorite proteins. Let's talk about protein, because if you're over 60, you've probably heard how important it is for preserving muscle. And that's absolutely true. But there's one big problem. Many older adults are turning to the wrong kinds of protein, not because they don't care, but because they've been told these options are quick, convenient, and satisfying. I'm talking about processed meats, sausages, hot dogs, salami, bologna, bacon, and deli meats. For years, these foods have been a go-to for seniors. They're affordable, easy to prepare, and packed with flavor. But here's what most people don't realize. These processed meats could be silently accelerating muscle breakdown, even while you're trying to eat more protein. Here's why. First, these meats are loaded with preservatives, especially nitrites and nitrates. These chemical additives help give meat that bright color and long shelf life. But once inside your body, they've been shown to increase inflammation, damage muscle cells, and disrupt how your body repairs tissue. And it doesn't stop there. Processed meats are also high in saturated fats, and in some cases even worse, trans fats. These unhealthy fats clog your arteries and reduce blood flow, not just to your heart, but to your muscles. And without proper circulation, your muscles don't get the oxygen or nutrients they need to stay strong. But perhaps the most overlooked danger? Sodium. Processed meats are often packed with salt, sometimes 5, 6, or 7 times more than fresh meats. Too much sodium can dehydrate your muscles, overload your kidneys, and trigger cramps, fatigue, and weakness. So if you've been eating these meats thinking you're doing your body a favor, the truth is, they might be making things harder. But don't worry, and there's a better way. You don't have to give up protein. You just need to upgrade your sources. Instead of reaching for packaged deli meats or frozen sausages, try this. Choose lean, unprocessed meats like chicken breast, turkey, or lean cuts of beef, prepared at home with herbs like rosemary, thyme, or bay leaf. Add in omega-3 rich fish like salmon, sardines, or mackerel once or twice a week. These support muscle growth and help reduce inflammation naturally. And don't forget eggs, one of the most complete sources of protein for seniors. They're rich in nutrients and easy to prepare in minutes. For plant-based days, go with lentils, beans, chickpeas, quinoa, and a handful of nuts or seeds. These foods are rich in protein and come with fiber, vitamins, and healthy fats that support your muscles without the chemical baggage. Bottom line, processed meats might seem harmless, even helpful, at first glance. But when it comes to long-term strength, balance, and independence, they're a risk not worth taking. Stick around because coming up next, we're uncovering a surprising twist. How some super healthy vegetables, yes, vegetables, could actually interfere with your muscle health if you're not careful. You won't want to miss this. Enemy number 4, misuse vegetables. When healthy foods backfire. Now this next one might sound surprising, even a little controversial, because we're talking about vegetables. Yes, vegetables. Ask any doctor, any nutritionist, and they'll tell you vegetables are essential for good health. And they're absolutely right when used correctly. But here's the catch most people never hear. Some vegetables, when eaten the wrong way or in the wrong amounts, can actually cause digestive trouble, nutrient absorption issues, and even interfere with your muscle performance, especially in older adults. Let's break it down. First, there's no question that vegetables, especially leafy greens, are packed with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Spinach, kale, broccoli, carrots, beets. These foods are nutritional powerhouses, but problems can arise in 2 big ways. 1, overloading on high-fiber veggies without enough water. Vegetables like cauliflower, cabbage, artichokes, while healthy, are high in insoluble fiber. And if you suddenly increase your intake without staying well hydrated, you may experience bloating, gas, constipation, and discomfort. And when you feel that way, what happens? You stop moving, you avoid exercise, you feel sluggish, and all of that can lead to accelerated muscle loss simply because you're moving less. 2, oxalates, the hidden blocker in certain greens. Spinach, Swiss chard, and beet greens are rich in oxalates, natural compounds that, in high amounts, can bind to calcium in your digestive tract. This prevents calcium from being absorbed, and calcium is crucial for muscle contraction and function. So if you're eating a big spinach salad and taking a calcium supplement at the same time, you may be blocking that calcium from ever reaching your muscles or bones. And here's another little-known issue. People with untreated hypothyroidism may want to be cautious with raw cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, kale, or cabbage. In large amounts and when eaten raw too often, these can interfere with thyroid function, which affects your metabolism, energy, and muscle maintenance. But don't get the wrong idea. Vegetables are not the enemy. The key is how you prepare them and how much you eat, especially if you're more sensitive to fiber or oxalates. Here's what you can do. Lightly cook cruciferous veggies like broccoli or kale. Steaming or boiling for 5 to 6 minutes helps deactivate compounds that interfere with thyroid and calcium. Alternate between raw and cooked vegetables so your digestion stays balanced. Avoid pairing oxalate-rich veggies with calcium supplements or dairy in the same meal. Stay well hydrated, especially if increasing your fiber intake. And above all, pair your vegetables with high-quality proteins, eggs, beans, fish, and stay consistent with light physical activity. Because muscles don't just need nutrients, they need movement too. So yes, vegetables are still one of your best allies in aging well. But like any powerful tool, they need to be used wisely. Coming up next, we're revealing one of the most misleading traps in the modern food world. Products labeled low-fat, diet, sugar-free, or fit that are quietly flooding your body with chemicals and additives that do the exact opposite of what they promise. If you've ever bought something because it looked healthy on the label, you need to see this. Enemy number 5, healthy processed foods. The label lies that sabotage your strength. If you've ever picked up a product because the label said fit, diet, low fat, no sugar added, or heart healthy, you're not alone, and you're not wrong for wanting to make smart choices. But here's the shocking truth. Many of these so-called healthy foods aren't helping your body at all. In fact, they may be quietly damaging your muscles, disrupting your metabolism, and even increasing inflammation, all while pretending to be good for you. Let's start with one common culprit, flavored yogurts. They look healthy on the outside. Some even say with fruit or packed with vitamins. But turn the label over, and what you'll often find is added sugars, artificial thickeners like starch or gums, food dyes, and sometimes no live probiotics at all. It's a far cry from real natural yogurt, the kind that actually supports your digestion and muscles. And what about protein bars or granola bars? They seem like a quick, energizing snack, but many are loaded with corn syrup, palm oil, artificial sweeteners, chemical preservatives. These ingredients don't build muscle. They often harm your gut health, which is critical for absorbing nutrients and keeping inflammation low. Even sugar-free versions often contain artificial sweeteners that can disrupt your insulin response and make it harder for your muscles to get the fuel they need. And it doesn't stop there. Many plant-based milks, like almond or oat milk, may sound healthy, but look closely and you'll see many are low in protein, high in added sugars, and filled with thickeners and additives. These drinks don't nourish your muscles. They just offer empty energy, and sometimes even contribute to inflammation and bloating. So what's the solution? It starts with this simple rule. Don't trust the front of the package. Read the ingredients. Look for plain, unsweetened yogurt with live cultures, homemade or minimally processed snacks with whole ingredients, plant milks with no added sugar and at least some protein, and whole foods that don't need fancy marketing to prove they're good for you. Because here's the bottom line. Just because something is labeled healthy doesn't mean it actually helps you stay strong. In fact, the biggest danger isn't always what we know is bad. It's the things we think are helping us, but quietly hold us back. Coming up next, we'll bring it all together and show you how to turn these insights into a realistic, powerful action plan to protect your strength, balance, and independence for years to come. So stay with me, because your strongest years might still be ahead. Let's quickly recap the 5 hidden enemies that weaken your muscles. Refined carbs, like white bread and pasta, which spike blood sugar and cause inflammation. Fruit juice, loaded with sugar, no fiber, and harmful to your liver and muscles. Processed meats, packed with chemicals, salt, and unhealthy fats. Misused vegetables, healthy, but can block nutrients if eaten the wrong way. Healthy processed foods, full of additives, sweeteners, and misleading labels. Now here's the good news. You don't have to fix everything at once. Just pick one change to start today. Maybe it's swapping your bread, skipping the juice, or reading food labels more carefully. Each small step helps protect your strength, energy, and independence. Because it's never too late to feel stronger, and your best years might still be ahead. If you found this helpful, like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. And in the comments, tell us, which of these surprised you most? Your story could inspire someone else to take the first step too.